Alright, so some big news has dropped on what's going on with the Fresh Start, and we've also had some announcements on launch events that are going to be happening for the first month. So I'm going to go over the events first, and then we'll talk about the big Fresh Start news, because there's some stuff that people are going to like, and there's going to be some stuff that people are really going to dislike, but we'll get into that in a moment. So let's start off with the events that they're going to be doing. Alright, so first of all, for the launch events, we're going to have the Divine Clock event, which is going to last from December 2nd until January 6th. And this is going to be a little clock that you can click in the bottom left corner, and that will give you a box with 6 buff items, and you can do this once a day. Then we also have the Daily Lulu's box, and this is also going to last until January 6th. And for this, you can go to the marketplace, and you can purchase 3 of these boxes a day. And you have to be level 30 to open the box, and it's going to give you one of 34 random items. I'm not sure what those items are, but it's more free items, more free stuff, and this is again going to be on the Fresh Start as well. We're also going to have a launch login tracker which will last until January 31st, and this is going to have 21 rewards available for each month. So I don't know if they're going to continue with a login tracker, but this is also going to be in Unchained. It's not just going to be normal ArcheAge. Then we have a double XP and double loot drop rate event lasting until January 6th as well. Again, also on the Fresh Start. And there's no double honor, but it's double XP and double drop rates. Alright, and then we have a couple of things that look like they've been added for new players specifically, but again, it's also going to apply to the Fresh Start, and this is something that's just going to be there until further notice. So there's the Passionate Leap, which has you complete quests upon hitting level 10, 20, and so on. So every 10 levels, all the way up until Ancestral level 30, and it says if the character reaches the quest objective in time by reaching the target level, they will get the next Passionate Leap item. So it sounds like it's timed, but it doesn't give us any notice of how long you've got to hit each level. We'll have to see when the game launches. And then we also have Evernight's Welcome, which if you just make a character, you'll get a box filled with rewards. And this, again, is until further notice. It's, I think it's a little strange that these are on the Fresh Start. It feels like it's going to speed up the progress of the Fresh Start server a lot. And I think it's fine to have for the normal servers. It just feels like it might take away from the Fresh Start servers a little bit. That's just my opinion, though. Now, real quick, before we look at the next event, I actually have a list of rewards for the Passionate Leap on the Korean side. So let's briefly go over that so you guys have an idea of what you're going to get. I'm not sure if it's going to be exact because it mentions here you get items such as clothes, elixirs, mounts, and Gilda stars. And some of this isn't mentioned in the Korean side, so it's possible that it's going to be slightly different, but there's a good chance we're going to get some of the items that the Korean side is showing. So as you can see here, we have a table going all the way from level 10 to Ancestral 30 down here. Again, the translation's a little off, but we get a good idea of what it is. So upon hitting level 10, you get a Mirage Bear, and then you also get a Raccoon Power Pet, and it says 30 days next to this. So I don't know if that's just for the Power Pet, or if it's for the Power Pet and the Bear. But either way, you know, you're going to at least have a mount for 30 days, and you're going to have a Power Pet for 30 days, alongside a Loot Collection Power Stone for the pet as well, so the pet will automatically collect your loot. So you're going to have this mount here, and you're going to have the Raccoon for 30 days, and combined with the Power Stone pet, it's going to be able to collect loot for you in a 40-meter radius, and this is going to just be really good for the start of the game. And then at level 20, you get a Better Glider, and you'll get a Fruit of Effort box, which is essentially a fortune box. So with this, you will get anywhere from 10 to 100 gold, which again, on the Fresh Start is kind of huge. It feels like it's speeding it up a lot. At level 30, you get a Duck Boat for 15 days, which no one's really going to use these. These are just for memes. And then you have another one of the fortune boxes. So that's in about potentially 100 gold. Anywhere from 10 to 100. Then at level 40, you get a plushie of Jean. Is it Jean? You get a plushie of Jean. I think this is Jean. I honestly don't know the lore, but it's one of the 12 heroes, and that you can throw this down in your house when you can actually put a house down after December 11th. At level 50, you're going to get 50 Manastorm crystals, and you're going to get yourself 2 of the fortune boxes, so again, even more gold. At 55, you get yourself 2 decrystallization scrolls, and 2 more of those boxes. Ancestral 1, you get the Reef Stalker worm for 30 days, which is a big boy mount, and then you get yourself 3 of those fortune boxes again. So you have the Reef Stalker mount for 30 days, which again is another mount to the collection. So you're going to be okay on mounts for a while. And then you also get 3 of those fortune boxes as well. At Ancestral level 10, you get 5 of the labor regen potions. And you also get 5 more of those boxes of gold. And then at Ancestral 20, you get yourself a car for 7 days and 10 more of those boxes. And then at level 30, you get yourself a Serendipity Stone where I believe you can choose what stat you want to change to. And you get 20 of those boxes of gold. So you get quite a lot from the Passionate Leap, and I don't know if this is going to be all of it, because it mentioned clothes and other stuff which isn't included in here, so it might be slightly adjusted for our version of the game. But what I keep hearing is that we're going to have pretty much the exact same build as Korea. Like, they're not going to change a lot, so I don't know. We'll see. Alright, next up we have the Please Go Ahead event, which is the Squid Game event. If you've watched Squid Game, it's the bridge from Squid Game. It's that whole thing, and that's going to be on until the 30th of December. So it's a special dungeon you can enter with a character that's at least level 50, and you've got to cross the bridge safely, and then you can get some Manastorm crystals, some titles, and some other achievements. So we'll see what other rewards they have there. Now, I believe Korea already had this event, so we have a good idea of what it's going to look like here, and the rewards are probably going to be slightly different, but we get an idea of how it's going to work. So it looks like this is going to be a 10-man instance, and it's going to last for 5 minutes, so you have 5 minutes to get across the bridge, and there's going to be 10 players that we can assume have to go in an order. There is some mention of sniper agents, and there's apparently abilities to determine which of the wooden boards will break or not, so that's going to be part of it. And it looks like there's going to be 5 achievements for this instance, with one of them giving you the masks. So you can have a Squid Game mask, I guess. It's not exactly Squid Game, but you know, it's close enough. But this looks like a fun event, so I'll probably do a video on this as soon as it comes out. Alright, and last of all, we have the free premium ArchePass for Unchained, which is going to let you get those Manastorm crystals earlier, and then afterwards you'll have to start collecting the loyalty tokens each day to actually buy the premium ArchePass. And then there's also going to be a special daily reward on until January 13th, where you can get yourself Manastorm crystals and labor recharges for free once a day in the marketplace. And yeah, that is it. Now, it's worth noting, again, this is all going to be on the fresh start, which honestly seems like a little much for the fresh start. I think it might take away from it a little bit, especially with some of the other changes that are going to be on the fresh start from what I've seen. Alright, so this is the part of the video where I have to re-record the segment because in the middle of uploading they put up another article making some changes, some actual good changes to the fresh start. Now, originally, we were going to have something similar to Korea, where pretty much all of the Noyan and Haranian continent would have been in peace for the first 28 days of the server being live on the fresh start, to make the experience a little easier for newer players, because I get what they were trying to do. They didn't want, you know, the veteran players after like a couple of days sitting in the Halcyona towns and just farming the new players as they came through, or probably like harassing the streamers that they're going to pay to play the game come day one. But they've reverted that change, which is really good news. So if we come on down here, there will be no peacetime on the fresh start servers. So they took the feedback and they've went with it, which is really good. Also, the double XP event that I mentioned in the previous segment, also removed from the fresh start servers. There is no mention of the Leap of Passion or the other events not being part of this, unless I missed this somewhere. I'm not sure, but those are still going to be in the game, which seem like they're going to speed it up a little bit more for fresh start. But again, it's going to be a lot better than what it was. We won't have the double XP, we're not going to have the double drop rate, and I think the one that would upset people the most is having the continent be in peace for 28 days. So that's all being changed, which is really good to see. It's really nice to see them taking the feedback. And now if we come back up to the top, we can see the staggered launch of the fresh start. Now this isn't any different than the part that I recorded earlier. It's just got a better translation, so we'll quickly go over this. So for the fresh start, they are going to limit what content is available, and they'll release more further down the line. So Easter Island Mountains isn't going to be open until January 6th, which means you've got plenty of time to get yourself geared up and be ready to go into Easter Island Mountains. Now here they say the Hypno Ridge and God of the Gods is to be determined, so we don't know when that's coming out. Some point in 2022. We can maybe assume February or March is when we'll see those open up, which makes a lot of sense because for the God of the Gods at least, no one's going to be reaching that content until much later on. And for the Hypno Ridge and a cache invasion, no one likes a cache invasion. I don't know. It's just another progression system that I'm not a big fan of. One good thing about the Hypno Ridge though is the Akash quest line that you do there. You can actually do pre-ancestral, so it's a good way to get some extra XP in, and it's a free mountain costume as well. So that's not going to be in there. So if you were looking to do that in the fresh start to get yourself some extra XP and avoid getting caught in PvP, then you're probably not going to be able to do that, unfortunately. And then here it mentions that a bunch of the world bosses aren't going to be available until later on. The Brilliant Haram Awakening Scrolls and Abyssal Library Awakening Scrolls aren't going to be available until January 6th. And then here it mentions Tower Defense and the Open Faction Honor Arena, which I'm actually not sure what that means. Maybe this should be obvious to me, but I'm not actually sure what this means. We'll see. As for dungeons, Kadum, Red Dragon's Keep, and Abyssal Library, floor 4, so I don't know if that means the 4th boss in the Abyssal Library. But that's not going to be available until January 6th. So, you know, there's going to be plenty of time to gear up for those. Again, you can't do Red Dragon until 5k gear score now. And I think, is Kadum 5k or is it 8k? I think Kadum might be 8k gear score. I'm not actually, it might be a little less than 8k. But that's going to take a bit of time to get to anyway. And then, to be determined is Hereafter Rebellion and Hypnish Sanctuary. Hypnish Sanctuary, I mean, no one's getting to that for a long time, let's be honest. So that's fine to come down a lot later down the line. And the Hereafter Rebellion is 8k gear score. And really, you can't fully complete that until around 10k gear score anyway. So we'll see when that comes out. It should come out earlier than Hypnish Sanctuary. But we'll see. And then here for Lunar Gems, it mentions that the Tier 5 Lunar Gem isn't going to be available until January 6th, and Tier 6 is to be determined. So there's that. And then for main content, it mentions that Chronicles quests and Exile will only be available after January 6th, which I assume means there's going to be no pirates until then. I don't know if they're going to do anything about the pirates or the exiling for the fresh start, because you have to be 10k gear score and you have to have the language proficiency. Or I believe you can use the book to kind of cheat that part, but you have to be at least 10k gear score to go pirate. So I don't know. I don't know if they're going to do anything about that. We'll see. And then the Siege is going to be determined some next year, which is interesting. And then initially farmhands are also going to be limited to max level 10. They take ages to go up anyway, so that's not too big of a deal. And the permanent return event, which I don't know what it is going to be limited and will be open at some point next year. But yeah, that is the staggered launch, so that's the plan. I think this is okay. I know a few people had mentioned this and they really wanted to see a staggered launch, so we'll see how this does, because I think this could be interesting, and this has me maybe wanting to try the fresh start, so I may jump over there for a little bit, give it a go. So, I don't know, you may see me on Twitch doing it, or maybe I'll make a video or two on the fresh start. Who knows? But yeah, this is kind of cool. We then have some other changes down here as well, which I think are going to make people happy. So, because of concerns with real money trading, you know, gold cells and stuff, they've made the decision to make sending mail only available at Ancestral 10. Private trade is going to be available at Ancestral level 10. And storage permissions on chests is going to be Ancestral level 10. And then you can use the auctioneer from level 30. But I think it might annoy some people, but I think some people are going to be happy to see them taking this seriously. They say they're going to monitor the economy and server activity, and at some point they'll remove these limitations, but it's going to initially be in place to hopefully deal with gold sellers to some extent. And then I've heard they're also going to have a dedicated team of people who are going to be looking for hackers and dealing with stuff like this, which I really hope happens, because that is cool to see. But yeah, that's it for this video, so thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think of the changes. Do you like the staggered launch? Do you not? Would you have preferred the 28-day peace period or not? I was going to try and get some fresh start advice out, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get a video out before the fresh start launches. So I may opt to do a complete beginner's guide at some point in that first week. It's just going to take some time because I want to try and compile everything together. But yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all the usual YouTube stuff, and I will see you all in the next video.